Imagine this. You're walking into a crowded city street, horns blaring, people shouting into phones, screens flashing. The world is loud, chaotic, overwhelming. Now picture the exact opposite. A place so silent you can hear your own heartbeat, the sound of your breath, the tiny hum of your thoughts. Which one feels louder? Silence has a weight, a presence, and sometimes it shouts louder than any noise you'll ever hear. Hidden inside that silence is a power that philosophers, mystics, and seekers have been pointing to for thousands of years. A power most people never dare to touch. We are living in the noisiest age in human history. Our pockets vibrate with notifications. Our minds are hijacked by algorithms. Our attention is bought and sold by corporations that profit from distraction. But here's the paradox. It's not just the external noise that overwhelms us, it's the internal noise too. The mind that never stops running, the inner voice that keeps score, the constant loop of worry, doubt, and comparison. And so, even when the room is quiet, most of us never experience true silence. Pascal once said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. It's uncomfortable because silence forces us to face what we've been drowning out." Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, found his greatest strength not on the battlefield, but in stillness. In Meditations, he wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." For Aurelius, silence wasn't about shutting out the world. It was about creating space within himself. A retreat he could carry anywhere, even in the chaos of ruling an empire. This is the first key. Stillness is not absence, it's presence. Presence so deep that the outside world can't disturb it. Buddhism teaches that beneath the restless waves of the mind, there is a still ocean of awareness. Meditation is the practice of diving beneath the surface noise into that silent depth. The Tao echoes this, reminding us, silence is a source of great strength. And across traditions, whether Christian mystics in monasteries, Sufi poets in deserts, or Hindu sages in the mountains, silence has always been seen not as emptiness, but as the doorway to the divine. Why? Because only when the noise dies down can we hear the subtle voice of truth. But here's the hard part. Silence doesn't feel powerful at first. It feels threatening, because when the noise fades, we're left with ourselves. The shadows we avoid, the doubts we bury, the memories we've hidden. That's why so many run from silence. We fill every gap with podcasts, playlists, endless scrolling, because silence exposes us. But if you stay long enough, something shifts. The thoughts begin to slow, the fear begins to soften, and behind all the noise, you find something spacious, unshaken, eternal. This is the self beyond the ego, the still point inside that cannot be disturbed by success or failure, praise or criticism. In a culture addicted to productivity, silence is rebellion. In a society where value is measured by noise, how much you produce, how much you post, how loudly you shout, choosing silence is a radical act. It says, I am not defined by the noise. I don't need to keep up. I am whole, even in stillness. Consider great thinkers, artists, and sages. They all carved out silence. Nietzsche wandering the mountains, Thoreau retreating to Walden Pond, the Buddha sitting beneath the Bodhi tree. They weren't escaping the world. They were learning to hear it more clearly. So how do we tap into this hidden power of silence and stillness? It doesn't require a monastery. It doesn't require years of training. It just requires a very simple choice to step away from noise, even for a few moments. Turn down the volume. No phone, no screen, no distraction. Just you and the silence. Sit with the discomfort. At first, your mind will resist. That's normal. Listen beyond the thoughts. Eventually, the chatter fades, and what's left is awareness itself. Over time, silence stops being frightening. It becomes a refuge, a strength, a compass. So the next time the world overwhelms you, don't reach for more noise. Reach for silence, because silence is not empty. It is full of clarity, full of strength, full of truth.